Scottish-American composer Thea Musgrave is one of the most respected and exciting contemporary composers in the Western world. Musgrave was born in Edinburgh in the late 1920s. She was a student at the University of Edinburgh, then moved to Paris to study with Nadia Boulanger, before establishing herself back in London as a prominent member of British musical life. Musgrave has consistently explored new means of projecting essentially dramatic situations in her music. Some works are dramatic abstract, and others project specific programmatic ideas, like the seasons. Many of these works are inspired by visual art. The idea for the piece as a whole came to the composer after a visit to the Metropolitan Art Gallery in New York. Witnessing Piero di Cosimo's Caccia Primitiva led her to reflect on the four seasons being a metaphor for the cycles of a human life.
It's almost like a tone poem for me. That, of course, there are these paintings, but it's almost like the emotional response to a picture, as opposed to just kind of writing music based on a picture. It's more that kind of the mood of the picture that she tries to capture.
The first movement, Autumn, violent and destructive, stands for an impending storm, be it literal or metaphorical. One of the main musical motives includes hunting horns set against a restless background. They are eventually swallowed up by a violent tempest. In mourning, bells ring out the Dies Irae. Here the mood is depicted by Picasso's The End of the Road. Winter in this piece was inspired by Washington crossing the Delaware, a painting by Emanuel Leutze, a chilly scene of George Washington guiding a boat through the icy river. Though the most sparse movement, A Glimmer on the Hope, is kept alive by a solo oboe. Spring sees the world wake up with gently quivering strings and nimble woodwind. The pictorial inspiration here is Van Gogh's The Sower, a greeny yellow-hued oil painting of a solitary man out in the fields, the spring sun behind him illuminating him as if a halo.
A lot of it reminds me of Debussy Ravel. There's a lot of birdsong that could almost be messiaen. But actually the very individual kind of sound world that she has, I think is most maybe apparent in spring. And there are these beautiful moments, these beautiful transitions. And especially the final one is in my mind where she writes estatico, so ecstatic. And there's this moment where the piece is kind of just suspended for kind of 20 bars in this beautiful kind of stasis. And I think that's kind of one of my favorite moments of the work.
Spring soon transforms into a jubilant summer, and the art that's inspired this movement all feature the strong reds, whites and blues that are common to both the French and the US flag. Monet's Rue Saint-Denis, festivities of June 30th and 1878, Van Gogh's Le 14 Juillet à Paris, both of which celebrate French military victories, and Jasper John's flag, a painting of the US flag completed after the painter was discharged from the US Army.
At the end of summer, you get this incredible kind of mashup. You get the Star-Spangled Banner, you get the Marseillaise, and again, just the kind of slightly individual sound world that she comes up with there. It really touches me somehow.